Hello everybody and welcome to my video on surrendering. So today I'm going to talk about the topic of surrendering and what that means. Going by an actual textbook definition of what the word surrender means. So I will be reading, I do have notes. I find it easier because that way I don't waffle as much. So the actual meaning that I found on the internet, once again, Google, love Google, love it. Okay, so it means to stop resisting to an opponent and to submit to their authority. So that's what the textbook meaning is. So how does that translate into our everyday life and into a spiritual sense? How does that translate? What does that mean? So I'm just going to sort of pull it apart a bit. So to stop resisting to a situation and to submit to that situation. So the key word here is resistance. Resistance is our key word. So when we are in resistance, when we are resisting something, we cause ourselves stress, we cause ourselves worry, and a whole gamut of a whole heap of other things. We make things more difficult for ourselves. It's like when you're paddling a canoe or you're rowing a boat. Do you like my rowing? Rowing a boat. And you're doing both of them and you're going upstream. So you're going against the flow. That's a lot of hard work. You're making yourself work harder than you need to. If we wanted to make it easier and make our lives easier and make it easier for us and less stressful, then if we surrender into that situation, if we just take a breath and just yield into that situation and just stop fighting it and resisting it, then we allow the energy to flow the way it should be. So instead of paddling that canoe or that boat upstream, we start floating downstream with the flow of the water, and our lives get easier. So that's what that's all about. That's all about that sort of stuff. When we allow ourselves to let go of the need to control the situations and to micromanage things in our lives get really easier. But I hear you say, hey Liz, that's really hard for me to do. And I've had this conversation with many people and they go, I just can't do it. I just can't do it, Liz. I just can't do it. I've had this conversation with lots of people. And trust me, I still work on this every single day. I still work on allowing. To surrender is also to allow. It's to allow the situation to unfold. It's just to allow things to happen. It isn't, and surrendering isn't a passive thing. It still has action involved with it, but it's a different type of action. You know, it's like the more we try to get what we desire, the further we get away from it. Whereas if we just relax and go, you know what, it is what it is. And I love that saying, it is what it is just the best saying. It's a saying that I was taught a while ago now, and it's one of the most sayings I use the most, because when you say to yourself, it is what it is, you immediately go into a place of acceptance and you just immediately let that stuff go, you know. But our need to control comes from fear. It's fear-based. It's our fear, it's our perceived fear of not getting what we want, you know, in our lives. all that sort of stuff comes from a base of fear, which of course comes from, you know, the way that we've been conditioned by society and a whole gamut of other things. But when you are in a situation and you just take the time to breathe really just deeply, just take those deep breaths, get yourself into a calm space, and then just open your heart space up and you invite all those fears into your heart, then you realize that you don't need to control that stuff. You just surrender, and that's what surrendering is. You just surrender into the situation and just go, if it's something you can't change, you just go, I can't change this. I'm just going to see where this leads me. Because a lot of the time we can't. And it's also to do with placing your trust and faith also in the divine. And by surrendering, you're allowing things to unfold as they should. And that can be really hard to do because there's always that part of us that needs to control. There's always that part of us that just needs to hang on. And that also comes from our ego and our mind as well. That need to hang on and control things it comes from a place of our ego. Because our ego tells us, you know, we need to control this, we need to do this, we need to do that, we need to get this, we need to do this to get that. Where sometimes you don't actually need to do anything. By surrendering and allowing and letting go, you actually get what you want. Our ego tricks us into believing that we need to manifest stuff in our lives. And we need to manifest the things we desire. And it creates fear about our lack. We'll never have enough. And all those other sorts of negative programmings that we have in our lives. But if we just take a moment, just breathe and just say, you know what? I'm just going to let this flow the way it's meant to flow. I'm going to go downstream and I'm not going to go upstream, and let's just see what happens. I mean, to totally surrender into a situation, like I said, you have to have total trust and faith. And it takes courage. It takes courage to actually go, you know what, I'm just going to allow this to happen. And you don't have to start off with big stuff. You can start off with small stuff. You know, don't try to go for the big shebang and you set yourself up for failure. Just try to do it in little ways until it becomes comfortable to just allow, just to go, okay, I'm just going to breathe and I'm just going to surrender into this situation. I'm just going to sink into this situation and I'm just going to surrender into it and I'm just going to allow things to happen. And just do it just do it in little ways. And then once you get comfortable with it, do it in bigger ways. Like I've always said, and I've said in my other videos, just work your way outwards. That's the best way. That's the best way to do it, is just to work your way outwards. Because, you know, sometimes when you allow things just to happen as they're meant to naturally unfold, and you don't end up getting what you thought you desired or what you thought you wanted, it actually turns out better. Because what you thought you wanted and what you thought you desired actually wasn't what was the best thing for you. And by that not working out, and by something else coming in, you actually get a better outcome. How many times have you had that happen in your life? Sometimes, the saying is, sometimes not getting what you want is the best thing that can happen to you. And that can be so, so true. You know, and sometimes you can end up with something much better than you had actually anticipated getting. So surrendering into situations and just allowing is sometimes the best action you can do. And like I said, just start with small things. Just start with small things. Because you expend so much energy when you're trying to control everything in your life, when you're trying to control everything and micromanage, you expend so much energy. Whereas if you manage just to breathe, relax, and just allow, surrender into a situation, just let it go, you expend so much less energy. Give it a go. Let me know how you went and what you think about this, because I have so many people tell me I just can't do it. I just can't do it. And it is a process and it is a learnt thing. I mean, look, I am still learning to do it myself. I've always said I am a work in progress. I'm not an expert. I am still on my journey. I am still learning. Every day I am learning. Every day I'm trying to keep moving forward on my own personal journey. So I myself am still learning to surrender into situations and to let go of stuff and to surrender. And I quite often, I just open my heart. I go in, I meditate. So get into a meditative place. I just breathe. And if I'm feeling fear, I just imagine my heart space opening, and I just say to myself, I invite the fear of whatever the situation is, I invite you into my heart. And I just breathe and I just feel whatever I'm feeling. And once again, this also gets back to feeling what you're feeling, and I sit with it. And then I try to see what's sitting underneath it. And that's also surrendering into a situation by feeling. That also helps you to surrender. Feeling helps you to surrender into a situation as well. So that's what the process I use, and that's how I work for myself to help myself surrender into situations. So like I said, let me know what you think and leave any comments below around this subject of surrendering into things. While I was on the net, I did find a really interesting girl, and she has written a really good book. Her name is Lisa Rankin. I'll link it below. And her book is called The Fear Cure. And she also has a website which I will also link. I had a bit of a read through like her website page that has her book on it, and has a little like synopsis of her book. It looks like it's really, really, really good. So I will link that below, because I think that's a really good book for anyone that wants to learn how to just let go of fear and to surrender into a situation. I think that'd be a really, really, really good book to read, for you to read, to help you with that. Thank you everybody for watching my video. Let me know. I'm in a new room. I'm trying a new background. I'm just trying new things just for a bit of variety and stuff like that. So let me know what you think about this. I have my little dog here in between my legs. I'll hold her up in a minute so you can see her. Don't forget, if you like this video, please give it the thumbs up. Also, please watch this video to the end, because it helps my videos. Please don't forget about my Liz C page, my Facebook page. I'll put the links for that below as well. Don't forget, please press the little notification bell, because that will give you an email so you know when I upload, because I only do these videos monthly. And also, if you're new to my channel and you're watching my video for the very first time, welcome and hello. Please hit the subscribe button, because that also helps this channel. It helps people find my videos and what I do. So I'll let you say hello to Ella. Her name is Ella. She is gorgeous. She's on the bed here. I'm going to pick her up. She's going to go, "What, Mum? What are you doing?" There she is. There's my little girl. Yeah, this is Ella. She's gorgeous. We're a very animal-friendly household here. We have a few. She's probably looking, going, "What are you doing to me?" Hello, gorgeous. Hello. Yes. Hello, gorgeous. Hey, let them see your very cute little face. Yes, you're gorgeous. Okay, everybody. So thank you very much for watching my video. And from Ella and I, we both say goodbye have to put Ella down to do this. So whether it be night or day, please have a good evening, have a good morning. Please stay safe. Ami Tofo. And until I see you again next month, I will talk to you again soon. Please stay safe. Bye.